Me? Okay. Yeah.
All right, Rohan Patel, combo movie. Hi, Cara, how
Hi,
are you?
Rohan. How are you? I'm good.
Doing well. I'm doing good too, thank you. So Carnival, the season two is pretty crazy. So I just wanted to get started with asking you, how has the vignette sort of grown since season one?
She really
Since
steps in.
now that she's back with Philo.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, did you?
oh, no, no, don't worry. She steps into her own, I think, in season two a lot. I think a lot in season one, she put others' needs before her own. And I think by the time we get to season two, she's facing a lot more adversity. She's constantly, fighting for the things she loves, fighting for the people she loves, fighting for rights of those who don't have any. There's a lot more conflict, and she is forced to become a leader, which I think surprises her. I think she didn't really realize the capability she had if the pressure was on, and I think she really steps up to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then part of her growing into like becoming that leader, she joins the Black Raven. And what does that sort of, how does that kind of add a wrinkle to her journey?
Well, I think that was always something that she didn't understand, or especially with her relationship with Philo, that was always kind of out of the question for her. But when her and Philo start to deal with kind of the same problem in different ways, they don't see eye to eye. The Black Raven are her people. They are the Fae. They are the ones who are trying to fight for the rights and escape, the segregation which they've had to deal with. And I don't know, it adds the layer of darkness, the layer of grittiness, that layer of like, right, no one is going to help us and no one is going to help defend us. We have to do whatever it costs to get out. So that's kind of what she has to deal with. But I like that for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have these two roles, like you have Philo and you also have Tourmaline that you're, season one, you're kind of finding your way back to Philo, and this time you start out back. So like, does that kind of help her resolve and help her build confidence moving forward?
There's a lot of twists and turns in season two. So I think even though she starts back up with Philo, Tourmaline is still someone that she has loved for her whole life. Like that relationship that she has with Tourmaline will never go away. So discovering that, it's like, but that's what's kind of beautiful about this, is that love isn't simple. It doesn't work exactly, especially in this pain, in this situation. There is so much that, if her and Philo have completely different paths, that's never going to work if they just keep having a conflict within a conflict. But that's part of the journey that she goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to get you into spoilers or anything, but like, what were your sort of
Yes.
Actually, I'll just skip it since I don't want to. But so like I know you also did Only Murders in the Building, which I love. So like when you're coming off Carnival Row and then the whole pandemic hit and you're doing Only Murders, was that sort of almost a palate cleanser that helped you like sort of unwind from Vignette and then move into the next project that you're
No,
going to work on?
we stopped for COVID, and then we started back up in COVID. So there was no Only Murders until after I finished. I started Planet Sex, and then I started Only Murders in between Planet Sex. So Only Murders was a palate cleanser of Planet Sex, but that I didn't need a palate cleanser from. Yeah, I would have loved to have done Only Murders in the middle of it. It would have been weird, but I think this crazy thing about Carnival Row is that there is a whole element in the beginning of the show where it's showing this plague-like disease, and then we broke for COVID. So that was really crazy. I don't wish COVID had happened. I wish there wasn't that time and space in between. I think it was a really hard time for everyone, but it made us realize how passionate we were about the project to come back and finish it in the way it should have been finished.
Yeah, you guys, I love the ending. So thank you so much for your time, Cara. I really appreciate it.
Good. Okay, thank you so much.